Dale here. So I just got back from the Apple Store and I learned a couple of things. So I finally got my watch here. This is the one that I will be keeping for myself to replace my cracked Apple Watch. So let's go ahead and take a closer look here. This is the Series 6 in the space gray aluminum. The one that I actually got originally with the size 7 loop got here. I unboxed it and everything. But I had to return that one because the size 7 loop could not be returned without returning the whole package. So I went to the Apple Store. I decided to swap it back out for space gray aluminum because honestly, I don't really like the stainless steel look. I do prefer the aluminum casing. So let's just go ahead and open this up. And I do want to talk a little bit about sizing, and I don't want to break this. One of the things that I learned over there is that of course they are sizing you, and I hadn't gone before because my Apple Store just opened up yesterday or today. So I went as soon as I found out. Here you get this at the Apple Store. It's the sizing guide that you can also print out, but that one has a little sticky pad here, which you remove at the Apple Store, and then you just put it where your watch goes, they say. You're going here and you're putting it as if it was a watch, and then you just tighten, and it makes it a lot easier than the printable tool. I would recommend to somehow put sticky tape on the printable tool and do this exact same thing. But basically I tighten it. You can basically see that I am still almost getting a 7 there. But what I decided to do is just, tighten this like as much as possible. And you can see how tight that is. That is so tight right there that I would obviously not buy a band, but this doesn't translate to the size of the band, interestingly enough. So you can see there, I'm halfway between a 6. Halfway between a 6 is going to translate to the following band size. So let me show you how it looks here. Open this up. This will be a size 6 silicone loop. Let's put this one side, and here we got it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it over the line, right here on the green line where you're supposed to measure. And let's see how far this thing goes. It goes all the way to the 4, a little bit past the 4. Okay, so that's just so you can get an idea of how long the size 6 band is. Now, how does the size 6 band look on my wrist? Well, let's go ahead and open up the watch and find out. All right, so we got these little tabs right here that we're just gonna go ahead and pull off. Then it just slowly comes out here, and there we have it. Of course, we're just gonna get the charger right there, some documentation, and then the Apple Watch here, and this nice little like paper recyclable sleeve. This is the 44mm version. I only wear the 44mm, and it's a little tight here. There we go. Push this out, and let's go ahead and put this off to the side and put the band on it. All right, so let's grab it. Easy peasy here, just slides right in. And here is how a size 6, and I decided to buy size 6 instead of knowing that I wanted size 5 so I can show this to you guys. Size 6 still fits fine. Like, it's not as tight as I would want it to. I would want it a little bit tighter, and that is just me. Like, if I ever got like a wrist bracelet or anything like that, I personally want it to be like nice around my actual wrist. I'm not a fan of like putting anything that's loose and moves around my wrist, and that's just me. So again, I am a size 5 overall. There really isn't much space here for it to slip around, so it's not going to slip due to silicone and just kind of the stickiness of skin in general. But you can see I can easily slide my finger in here without really tugging it too much. So it's kind of just, a nice fit. It just feels like it's on there, and it feels fine. It feels good. I can live with this size. So this is definitely the correct size, size 6. So you can see I measured almost at a 7, very close to a 6. I'm definitely a 6, but I prefer a 5. So that's just how it is. I think as a general rule of thumb, still, I would size down, especially if you're up higher on a number. So for example, if you measure like at 7 and you're a little bit close to 6, go down to the 6. And know that you can go down an extra one if you like it snug. If you're at the end of the 7, well then the 6 might be perfect. And then, use that as a guide. Worth noting that the braided band is a little bit looser than the silicone band at the size 7. And yeah, I would say maybe for that one, just take into account a little bit more. So if you are at, let's say halfway through 7, then definitely the 6 for the braided loop, just because it's a little bit bigger. So the 7 in the silicone might feel like okay, maybe a little bit loose, but not really. And in the braided, it is going to feel loose just due to the nature of the different materials. So keep that in mind. So now that we got the watch here and you can see how it is there, it is very good and everything. Let's go ahead and put on this case here. Now, I've been showing some case on the previous videos and I got a bunch of questions about the case. And that case is good. However, I just bought this other one on Amazon in preparation for this watch and also for the second broken watch that I had. And honestly, I think this isn't better than the other case that I showed you guys, or not better, but cheaper and basically the exact same thing. This one came with 2 of them for like $8 or something. So I'll link it down below in the description, but just in case, you know, so I can show it to you guys here, because I'm not gonna make a dedicated video about it. You remove the protectors. It basically has a tempered glass and it just presses on there, and there you go. It's pretty good because it pretty much leaves the screen intact, protects your watch, and I think it gives it a nice bulkiness. So if you want a little bit more bulkiness to your watch, this might work. It's also gonna, of course, protect the sides a little bit. But that is that one. Just as a little extra thing in here, I bought this band on Amazon that I'll be showing once I get the official leather link, or whatever Apple's calling it, from Apple. And this is a fake one. It was like $40 or so. One of the cool things about this band is that, of course, you can just put it on and the magnets just stick. And really, I am impressed with it. The magnets do stick very well, especially for like a knockoff version. Obviously, I wouldn't trust it if I was doing like some gym action or sports or anything like that. But overall, it tightens up really nicely. The color is quite nice. This does feel kind of almost like paper, so it doesn't feel super high quality, and it was about $40. So for $40, I don't know. And we'll take a closer look comparing it against Apple's official one once I get the other one, but you can see it there. It is quite a cool looking band. Another option here you can get for these watches is this other one I found on Amazon, which is a loop as well, but it's made out of a different material. It's a very soft, nice, really washable material. I quite like it. It's a nice mix between the braided loop material and the silicone material. The cool thing is that it works just like the silicone material, but it's a little more stretchy and it gives a little bit more, so it fits more sizes without it getting tighter, if that makes sense. Now, I got the medium to large. I wish I would have gotten the small to medium or something like that on Amazon, because as you can see, it does shake around a little bit, unfortunately. It does have these little bits right there, which I'm not quite a fan of, but it overall feels really great, and it's only like $8 or so. So, another option to kind of consider if you're looking for a single loop thing here, because it is quite nice. And I just kind of wish I would have gotten the right size, but I think that's just inevitable with all these things. I did measure and the measurement just didn't work for this particular one. All right, now I know I talked a lot about like the bands and stuff, and I think that's just because it's one of the things that I wanted to talk about the most. The watch itself really isn't super exciting compared to the Series 5. My personal watch before was the Series 4. And for some time I did use the Series 5 because my dad broke his and then gave it to me. So you can now set up for a family member or for yourself. That's nice if you don't have an iPhone and you want someone else to set up your Apple Watch for you. It's a very simple way to set it up. As far as the new features in the Series 6, you do get the O2 measurement thing, something I'll never really use, or at least anytime soon. You also do get a slightly brighter always on display, which from using the other one that I got, and I used that one for a couple of days, is it brighter? Yes. Is it something worth upgrading? No, not really. The battery is pretty good. It's a little bit better than my Series 4, even with the always on display with all the same settings and everything. So that's worth noting. And now you can see here that I am restoring from backup. The watch overall is going to be a little bit faster, but just, you know, from switching from this one to the Series 6 the other day and using that for a couple of days, the difference was not noticeable while using the watch. Like, it's maybe if I compare them side by side, yeah, but I'm not going to start doing that. Just telling you here that there's really no particular reason to get this new one. If you can get a better deal on a Series 5, if you want the always on, or if you don't want the always on, the Series 4 is still great. I am personally only upgrading because of the cracked screen, and I don't have Apple Care or anything. So I would have to pay $350 to fix the screen. And if I'm gonna spend that much, I'd rather just get this new one and then get Apple Care for this one in case something happens to it again. So I'm a dummy, I made a mistake, and now I'm paying for it, but I'm upgrading to this one to just have this one with Apple Care. Now here, of course, we can just go through the setup. We can create a passcode and all that if you wanna use Apple Pay. I'm gonna go ahead and create one. Continue, and then we can set up Apple Pay. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now it's adding my Apple Card onto my watch so I can pay with it. All right, it added the card. Now continue, emergency SOS, set up cellular. that's very easy to do if you do have cellular on your current watch. It's even transferred it over a couple of times now in the past couple of days without any issues. So you basically click transfer to transfer your line. Of course, you can set up a new line if you don't have it, but if you have it, you can see there, transfers it basically instantly, and that's all I gotta do. Now it just syncs, and then when it's ready, I have all my apps and everything. So it's very simple to install this and set it up if you have a current watch, and if you don't, it's the same thing basically. But that is the Series 6 watch here, mainly talking about the bands and stuff, because as far as features go, really nothing super exciting from Apple this year. It's a very small upgrade to last year's version. But thanks again for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And aside from that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.